Welcome back to Bearcats Unleashed, our student athlete series on mckbearcats.com. I'm happy to be joined by Madelyn Tepe. She's a member of the McKendree women's cross country and track and field teams. The McKendree men's and women's cross country teams will be traveling to Springfield, Illinois to compete in the GLVC Triangular on Friday, September 25th. Madelyn, thank you for taking the time to answer a few questions with me.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Let's get started. So cross country is such a unique sport in where you can either train by yourself, you can train with, a couple teammates, a couple friends from high school and whatnot. You don't necessarily need that team aspect like, football, basketball, etc. So with that being said, my first question to you was, how was the training over the pandemic? Did you end up having a plan with Coach Agna, Coach Hannah? Did you end up running with anyone from the team? So I'm just a little bit interested in knowing how that went over the pandemic.
Right. So at first, I was pretty motivated, pretty down that our outdoor season was canceled, but in a way, I was excited about the extra time I had to train for cross country for the coming fall. So I was super motivated at first, and then there were definitely some weeks where motivation was just lost. There were times where I'm like, what if we don't even have a cross country season? We may not even compete until January for all I know. But I think it definitely helped with my coaches and teammates. We were able to keep in touch. We could text Coach Inyar and ask her for training for the week, and she sent us stuff for a week, 2 weeks, whatever we needed, and then would ask us how it went and would base our next training that she sent us after that. My teammate, Kayla Tyree, she lives probably 45 minutes away from me, so we were able to keep in touch and even run together for some longer runs, which was really much needed because there's not a lot of people from my town that continue to run after high school. So, but those are probably just the biggest things. There was some motivation, and then there was a little bit of loss, but I think with the help of teammates and coaches, it helped a lot.
And so with that, my next question, kind of piggybacking off my first question, was, did you think training this year was more difficult this year versus in years past?
I would say so, just because there was just so much extra time. But one thing that really did help me with having the extra time was realizing recovery is just a big thing that I needed to focus on, because last cross country season I had a foot injury, so I was out for majority of the season, so I didn't get to train and hit the times that I wanted. That would probably be the biggest thing.
Gotcha. And like you mentioned, you had a foot injury, you didn't really get to compete a lot for track and field. And even outside of that, you haven't been able to compete in an event in almost about 7 months, with your last event being in the GLVC Indoor Track and Field Championship. So how excited are you, and how excited is the rest of the team to just get out there and start competing again for the first time?
I know I'm really excited. The rest of the team is also very excited. Just to go out and compete against other teams, because it's very difficult just to keep running miles and miles for 7 months and not even get to run a random 5K in the summer just against on your the local town 5K. And then just because that's why we run, is just to compete and get that experience with meets. So I think we're all pretty pumped and ready to go for next Friday.
Right. And so kind of looking ahead into these next couple of races, what kind of goals do you have for the season? Do you have any kind of marks that you want to hit this year? And as for the team, do you guys have any team-specific goals that you're trying to reach this year as well?
So for my individual goal, I'm looking to run under 23 minutes for my 6K. That's probably cut off about a minute off my time. And I think team-wise, I think we're mainly just looking just to hit PRs and get closer as a team in general, and just be able to hopefully race this season.
Gotcha. Great answers from you. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today on Bearcats.
Thank you.
I just wanted to wish you and the rest of your teams best of luck on Friday and for the rest of the season as well.